Real Madrid's 1-0 win over Benfica in the first leg of their Champions League playoff wasn't just another positive result on the scoreboard. It felt like a snapshot of modern football itself, where tactical planning meets the darker, uglier side of the game. On a night in Lisbon that should have been about rhythm and flair, about samba on the big European stage, it turned into something far more hostile. The beautiful sound of the ball moving across the pitch was drowned out by angry jeers echoing around the stands at the Estadio da Luz. The match began cautiously. Both sides were measured, almost calculating every movement. The first half was tense, tight, full of hard challenges in midfield. Nobody wanted to give an inch. It was chess at high speed. Then, in the 50th minute, everything changed. Kylian Mbappé spotted the smallest gap behind Amar Dedic, who had pushed just a little too high up the pitch. One quick, perfectly weighted pass sliced straight through Benfica's midfield and found Vinicius Jr. in his favorite position on the left flank. The Brazilian didn't need many touches. A couple of sharp, trademark tricks sent the defender the wrong way. He shifted the ball, opened up the angle, and then, with his right foot, curled a stunning shot toward the far corner. The ball arced beautifully through the Lisbon night before nestling into the top corner. The Benfica goalkeeper didn't even move. It was world-class, the kind of goal that reminds everyone why Vinicius belongs at the very top. But the joy barely had time to settle before the chaos began. As Vinicius celebrated near the corner flag with his now famous dance, a symbol of Brazilian passion and identity, the atmosphere shifted instantly. Objects started raining down from the stands. Tension exploded. Nicolas Otamendi and several Benfica players rushed toward him aggressively, tempers flaring. And then came the moment that left everyone stunned. Referee François Letexier reached into his pocket and showed a yellow card to Vinicius. The Real Madrid star stood there in disbelief, frustration written all over his face. The darkest moment of the night came just as the players were walking back into position to restart the game. Gianluca Prestiani continued to follow Vinicius, shouting words that were clearly aimed at him. Vinicius suddenly stopped. The smile from his goal celebration was gone. In its place was pure anger, pure hurt. You could see it in his eyes. Then referee Letexier made the gesture, arms crossed above his head, activating FIFA's 3-step anti-racism protocol. And just like that, the game fell into an eerie silence. For 10 chaotic minutes, football didn't matter. What mattered was what happened next. Vinicius sat on the bench, staring into the distance. He looked shaken. For a brief moment, he looked like a player who'd had enough, not of the match, but of the injustice, of the constant hostility. And that's when you saw what Real Madrid really is. His teammates surrounded him immediately. They didn't hesitate. They didn't step back. They stood with him. Kylian Mbappé, so often labeled by the media as selfish or difficult, was the most furious of them all. He argued passionately with Benfica's staff, defending his teammate like a brother. There was no ego there, just loyalty. On the touchline, Álvaro Arbeloa wasn't acting like a calm, distant tactician. He stormed onto the pitch like a father demanding justice for his son. And then there was José Mourinho. In one of the most human moments of the night, the special one walked over, put his arm around Vinicius, and listened. For that brief second, he wasn't Benfica's head coach. He was a senior figure in the game trying to comfort a young man deeply hurt by the shadow of racism. But the drama didn't stop there. Mourinho himself later received 2 quick yellow cards for protesting the referee's decisions and was sent off, leaving the pitch to boos from his own supporters. 12 years have now passed since Mourinho last won a Champions League knockout tie. Maybe that says something. Maybe the era of individual magic is slowly giving way to the structured, tactical control that younger coaches like Arbeloa represent. When the match restarted, the Estadio da Luz truly turned into a hostile arena. Every time Vinicius Jr. or Trent Alexander-Arnold touched the ball, waves of jeers crashed down from the stands. Objects were thrown onto the pitch, aimed directly at Real Madrid's stars. The game kept stopping. The tension kept rising. In the end, the referee had no choice but to add 12 minutes of stoppage time. And yet, in the middle of all that chaos, Real Madrid showed their character. Thibaut Courtois once again reminded everyone why he's still considered the best goalkeeper in the world. In the 24th minute, he pulled off a stunning save to protect Madrid's fragile lead. A moment of pure concentration in a stadium boiling with anger. The final whistle came after 12 exhausting, nerve-shredding minutes of added time. Real Madrid won. On a football level, that part was clear. They were more organized, more flexible, and mentally tougher than in previous meetings. The passing network told the story of a team that has grown under Álvaro Arbeloa. More balanced, more connected, more in control. But when it was over, there were no wild celebrations. The players in white walked straight down the tunnel, almost as if they just wanted to escape the suffocating atmosphere as quickly as possible. To understand how Real Madrid survived 102 stormy minutes in Lisbon, you have to look at the tactical mind of Álvaro Arbeloa. Think back to their meeting with Benfica in January. At that time, Madrid looked structurally unbalanced. Their passing map showed heavy congestion on the left flank. Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, Kylian Mbappé, even Álvaro Carreras, they were stepping into the same spaces. There was no breathing room, no width. It made Madrid predictable, and Benfica punished them on the counter-attack. But this time in Lisbon, Arbeloa changed everything. Real Madrid no longer played in clusters. They stretched the pitch. They created space. There was balance between the flanks, clarity in the midfield, and better control in possession. And the key to that transformation had a name: Trent Alexander-Arnold. The English fullback wasn't just playing as a traditional right-back. Trent Alexander-Arnold became the main controller, the rhythm setter. Time and again, he fired long, precise diagonal passes, inch perfect, linking up with Federico Valverde, and then switching play all the way across to Vinicius on the opposite flank. That approach allowed Real Madrid to breathe under pressure. Instead of forcing their way straight into Benfica's defensive wall, they kept the ball moving, shifting it from side to side, slowly draining the energy out of their opponents. It was patience over panic, structure over chaos. The balance also came from Eduardo Camavinga, who stepped in for Jude Bellingham, but brought a completely different mindset. Where Bellingham often drives forward into the box, Camavinga stayed deeper, acting as a connector. He formed a protective triangle with Antonio Rudiger and Dean Huijsen, giving Madrid much more stability in transition. Rudiger's presence alone changed the feeling of the back line, especially compared to earlier experiments with Raúl Asensio. And the numbers don't lie. In their meeting earlier this year, Madrid allowed Benfica to generate 2.3 expected goals, a worrying figure. But this time, in a match that stretched beyond 100 intense minutes, Benfica managed just 0.41 xG. That's not a small improvement. That's a defensive transformation. The 1-0 win is an advantage, but it also carries emotional weight. Vinicius Jr. isn't just fighting for himself anymore. Since the incidents at Mestalla in 2023, he's become a symbol, a face of the fight against hate in football. Next week at the Santiago Bernabeu, the second leg won't just be about qualification. It will be about restoring joy, about giving their star the stage he deserves, without fear, without hostility. The lights at the Estadio da Luz may have been dimmed by ugly scenes, but in that darkness you could still see something powerful. The unity of this Madrid team and the resilience of a 25-year-old named Vinicius. This wasn't just a football victory, it was a victory of character over hate, and a reminder that sometimes the strongest statement a team can make isn't just on the scoreboard, but in the way they stand together when the storm hits.